Hello everyone, now that Set 6 has launched, we want to give you 5 of the best comps you've got to try from our Challenger experts. All of these comps can be found on our website in the description along with the full guides so you can use them in-game and follow along with them. Our first comp is PEEBA's Load the Toad. So PEEBA always likes to make comps that use a lot of high cost units at the start of sets. This comp uses Jace, Jinx, Tahm Kench, Yuumi, Janna, Jhin, Orianna and Vi. Most of the game you'll be using transition units to hold items and then you swap to these expensive units later. This is a very hard comp to play, but it's also really rewarding when you get it right. If you get a lucky start, good units and good items, then you can easily win streak, get a bunch of gold and then go into this later. It's also a great comp to play if you have no real direction, but you're ahead and you have a good economy going into level 8. Now this is a fast 8 comp, meaning you want to save up gold early and look to hit level 8 in stage 4 to look for high cost units. Traits like Yordles or Mercenaries can also help with this, but playing them usually makes it harder to win rounds. Think of using them as an alternate strategy, where you might need to use that bonus gold sooner to stabilise on your way to the end game. This comp doesn't look to play around a particular trait, rather winning through the value of a high end board. To be able to afford these expensive units, you're going to want to enter the late game with a thriving economy, and enough HP to survive your transition. A big part of that now are Hextech augments. Pay special attention to your first augment. Stand United, Phony Frontline, Pandora's Items, Item Grab Bag, Cybernetic Implants, Sunfire Board, Knife's Edge, Exiles and Celestial Blessings are some of your best options. All of them will immediately make your board stronger, and most of them will still have a payoff in the late game. Your best bet is definitely high-end shopping though. The better shop odds give you a way higher chance of 2-starring of 5 costs at level 8. For Jinx's items, you're looking for Jeweled Gauntlet and Infinity Edge for damage and a Guardian Angel to keep her safe. She's flexible though, as she loves AP and she likes AD. Giant Slayer, Hand of Justice, Guardian Angel, all great picks. The ones you should build are the ones you can make earliest. After that, you're just looking for tank items for Tahm and Jace. Jace is your second carry here, and any other damage items you can find will work well to put them on him. Next up are our Academy Challengers, which focuses on having 2 Challenger carries surrounded by Academy and support units. The combination of Fiora and Yone will shred through teams while Braum and Leona will stall for a ton of time. This comp uses Fiora, Yone, Leona, Yuumi, Braum, Janna, Seraphine and Taric. This is a default leveling comp, meaning it doesn't rely on any 3-star units and you will level up at a regular pace. At level 7 you'll likely roll for Fiora and Yone to try and get a bit stronger, then save to get level 8 and complete the team. It's a little bit difficult to get perfect items for both carries, but it means that there's definitely potential for first places. Thankfully for this team, Challengers start out strong, and you can move your items as you find higher cost units later into the game. Getting this team should make you very strong at level 8, which allows you to go to level 9, find that 2-star Kai'Sa, replace Fiora and get that first. If you're lucky when you roll at 8 and find Kai'Sa, you can simply use her then. For augments there are a few obvious choices with Challenger Heart and Soul. Challenger Heart can be useful to get +1 Challenger to your traits in the early and mid game, and Challenger Soul means you can get to 4 challenges without having to modify the comp at all. The exact same can be said for the Academy Heart and Soul, meaning you don't have to have the spatula to make it work as easily. On Guard disarms an enemy the first time they are attacked by a Challenger. Also, item grab bags, especially the tier 3, will help a ton considering you'll want to have 2 itemized carries plus a tank or 2 at the front. For items, you should actually build what you find first, whether that's Yone or Fiora. Fiora can use a lot of different items, but Bloodthirster and Infinity Edge are the best to aim for. If you get a spatula, making her an Academy really helps level up this comp too. For Yone, he is more auto-attack based, so Infinity Edge and Last Whisper together are really good. Or more attack speed like Rageblade and Runance. Other items will go into your tanks at the front to buy them some more time. Next up is our 4 comp, which is a flexible comp built around Jhin. If you've played TFT before, then you'll recognise this as the standard protect the auto-attacking unit at the back comp. So this comp uses Jhin, Jace, Janna, Yuumi, Orianna, Taric, Tahm Kench and Caitlyn. The easiest early game to go for will be snipers along with bodyguards, but you can also do well using scrap units to gain bonuses through the item advantage. This is one of the easier comps to play since it revolves around just 1 4-cost unit in Jhin. This is a default leveling comp, meaning it doesn't rely on any 3-star units and you will level up at a regular pace. In general, you will want to stabilise at level 7 by finding at least 1 copy of Jhin, or whatever upgrades you need to keep up with your lobby. After that, most of your gold will be spent on level 8 to find your higher cost units like Tahm Kench, Janna, Orianna, Yuumi, etc. The cool thing about this comp is units like Jace and Tahm Kench late game will help to carry you over the edge. So not only is it a pretty solid comp game to game, but if you get to that level 9 especially, you will have that extra edge to get first. For augments, we're looking at the obvious ones like Sniper's Nest, Sniper's Heart or Soul. These give direct bonuses to Jhin so he can carry even harder. Sniper's Nest is really good early game, but it can be rough later on when you ideally want to move him around more. Socialite Heart or Soul is also really good actually. If you can get that backline spotlight for Jhin, the boost is amazing, especially if you get to 3 and have the Omnivamp. For items, we focus on Jin first. Triple damage is fine because he's safe at the back, so Giant Slayer, Infinity Edge and Last Whisper would all be ideal. To get a better chance at first place, kitting out Jace will help a ton. He can use both tank and damage items pretty well. Whatever you find and make early game will probably end up on him at the end of the game. Our next comp is one of our favourites, Chemtech Crab. This comp revolves around Urgot and plays more vertical traits than other 4-cost carry comps. This comp uses Urgot, Dr. Mundo, Jinx, Victor, Janna, Orianna, Zac and Lissandra. Lissandra can carry quite hard during the mid game, but Mundo and Zac provide an unstoppable frontline if you get a few items. Without healing reduction, they can run through entire teams in some games. You've then got Urgot for the later stages to really pack a punch and carry, but that won't always get you the first place. Luckily, we can flex in Victor and Jinx when you find them. These two will give you that edge that it takes to get first place in this comp, so it's consistent, with a way to win out lobbies too. This is a default leveling comp, meaning it doesn't rely on any 3-star units and you will level up at a regular pace. You can end up going straight to level 8 with this comp in some games with a good start, but if not, you will need to roll a little bit at level 7 to find some good upgrades. You can use Chemtech from the beginning of the game, which is ideal. It lets you move into this comp super easy without having a hard transition or swapping to a whole comp. For augments, we have a lot of good choices. Chemtech Heart or Soul gives you more Chemtech traits, which can let you flex the comp around more. Chemical Overload means your Chemtechs explode when they die, and Instant Injection lets the bonus trigger at the start of combat, which can be really strong, especially later on. Things like Celestial Blessing, Sunfire Board, Cybernetic Implants, Wise Spending and Trade Sector are also really good options that are more generalised and don't force you to play this comp from the start. Urgot can use a lot of different items, but these have good synergy with Twin Shot and his ability. You can use other AD or attack speed items or even lifesteal, but remember Chemtech gives sustain, so it's not always needed. Mundo is the meat shield of this comp. Any extra tank items will go on him. Sometimes it's even better to build these first, as he will stall for a ton of time in the mid game. So lastly, we have our Laser Lux comp. As you likely guessed, this comp uses Lux as the main carry, but for a bit of a twist, we surround her with strong utility units rather than going all in on Arcanists. This comp uses Lux, Orianna, Galio, Victor, Yuumi, Braum and Janna. The idea here is that Lux will burst down enemy teams, so we just buy her some time with shields, heals and big units in front of her. Having Galio and Victor later will let you secure that first place. Both of them with items can end up dealing some great damage. Again, this is a default leveling comp, meaning it doesn't rely on any 3-star units, and you'll level up at a pretty regular pace. At level 7 you'll likely need to find a Lux, but if you're strong enough, you want to get to level 8 as soon as you can, so you can find Galio and Victor too. Early game you can use things like Yordles or Twisted Fate to hold Lux's items. Yordles are exceptionally good because they also give you gold each turn from the free unit, so if you manage to get a win streak going with them, it's worth even more. This comp is not that hard to play, as we kit out Lux with items and let her laser people down. It's about as satisfying as it sounds as well. For augments, Arcanist Heart and Soul are the more obvious choices. This lets you power up the comp without having to actually have the units and sacrifice the utility that you've got. Runic Shield is also good, but you'll only get the benefit on 2 of your units. Income augments like Wise Spending or Trade Sector will always help you find your units, and then any general ones like Celestial Blessing, Sunfire Board or Cybernetic Implants will be great if you don't have many other choices. For items, Lux will want a mana item like Blue Buff and then damage item like Jeweled Gauntlet. The third one you can flex, but Infinity Edge will be a huge boost to her crits. You can then swap the Infinity Edge for almost any other damage item though, as it's not required. After that you want to make sure your tank like Galio has some items. Anything that's going to buy Lux more time to fire off more lasers. Victor is going to be your secondary carry, so having items for him will mean if Lux starts to fall off later on or dies, you can still win the fight, especially with how long fights can last. That's going to wrap up our 5 comps you have to play from our Challenger experts. Let us know what you've been playing and remember to check out our full tier list and app on our website. Thanks for watching and we'll see you again soon. Take care.